pay for the free storage. You get like 2 gigs or something like that, which holds like 3 videos or 3 1-hour calls, and then after that, you're screwed.
Looks like it worked for Trent. Okay, yay.
Oh, nice.
Thank you for letting us know that. All right. Gaia session, March 28th, 2024. Tuya kia kawakia naniata teishu. Placing aside the busy thinking mind, putting it in the back seat, fully connecting to source, plugging into source, and plugging into the fabric of the universe, unconditional love. As we plug into source's unconditional love flows like a waterfall into our physical bodies, relaxing, harmonizing. We open our hearts and pour out that unconditional love into our energy bodies. Our energy bodies absorb, receive, and expand. With our physical bodies relaxed, fully soaked with the unconditional love, all of our cells, all of our muscles, everything relaxed. And our energy bodies expanded. In our energy bodies, we circle up. In the center of our circle is a golden sphere. It is small, and it grows larger and larger and larger. It gently lands on our laps, and our energy centers easily connect with the golden sphere. We fill the golden sphere with love for Gaia. We love you, Gaia. Fully connecting to Gaia, cradling the golden sphere, cradling Gaia. We surround her, we float, we rise, cradling Gaia. We love you. Fully connected to her, supporting her. We arrive at the council chambers, connecting to Alexandria, the head of the council. Welcome. Shall we begin with the anthem?
Gaia, oh beautiful Gaia, we sing to you. Do not fear, we are here. We are sincere, you can see to be here to guide thee. From the corners north, east, south, and west, we will assist to do our best. We send you love, we send you light. We are grateful for you. This is true. We come together just for you.
Splendid. Much appreciation in the delivery and the process in this day will be twofold. That is the first implementation. You would say it is somewhat of a clearing, but this is specifically for, again, as we addressed the waters, we harmonized the waters there in our last coming together. There were things that we provided, we amplified the strength of the waters, but the necessity has arisen out of that last providing that we in the first fold we clear as the waters were strengthened. There are many things, as you would say, the normal process of filtration, the normal process of evaporation and being purified in different ways, and many things since the strengthening have now arisen. You would see it's almost like a deluge of somewhat, you would say, of toxins, of some unnatural, and you would say what is a natural toxin, and can be an overabundance, overgrowth, if you wish. I will not elaborate, but that is generally it. So it is the clearing is the first fold, and the second fold is you would say it is somewhat of programming. As you are aware, the waters are intelligent and receive much information, which is very beneficial to Gaia and her inhabitants. And the second programming aspect after we clear, it will be the programming effect for its intelligence, not only for the further strengthening, but also for the, it is generally of support. It is more to be elaborated, but I will do when it is time for that portion. For the clearing aspect, we will be separated out in 3 groups. Do not consider which group or who, where, what, or when. There are other participants that have, I will use the term inculcated, a circles of delivery. It is a mechanism, as you would see, very similar to if you were to gather with a net, or you were to gather toxins or those sort of things, sludge, if you wish, with a net. It is different, but to utilize that for your analogy. The three groups, and you would say, well, there are more than three bodies of water, but there is the three groups will utilize the key placement that is already there. We have determined that doing this in three, so there will be some groups that will have more than one body of water. And it will be perfect. We are now sectioned off. And each section you will be guided by one of your participants, and you will find the circle at the body of water. The circle will be illuminated much like you would see fire within water, which would be curious, but this is for your understanding. The circle and the placement and what the circle contains has already been provided the instrumentation to gather the toxins. So you will allow yourselves now to land somewhat upon the circle. You would say, am I landing on fire? But as you would see, it is not the same as what you are familiar with, but there is a analogy of it burning off. This, although it is at the top surface, it reaches down into the branches and reaches down, and it has already been placed and somewhat humming. I will say that it is humming, and this humming has already created the resonance for which it is calling forth what is already strengthened from which we last delivered, that it will be rather quick to utilize and gather the toxins. Now that we are all placed at these three circles, the section off of core council, of primary council, and some other participants present. There is one participant that is key, that will be at the center of the circle, now in placement. The beginning of the continuing of the humming, but the beginning of the increasing of the resonance is upon us. Allow the resonance to flow through you as you flow through it. It is, you are one with each participant, and you are contained with the container. As the resonance and the gathering begins, it will increase, you would say, and become more permeating, more persistent. And as it gathers, this will be exactly how it is supposed to be. Allowing your full support and your full embodiment of knowing that you are clearing the waters, you are clearing them of the deep toxins that have soiled them, that have interrupted the, what you would say, the circle of life, the cycles, and the things that interfere at many different levels, many different layers, and many different aspects. Fully receiving the vibrations, if you wish, that are emanating from it, and allowing your continuing connection to it and to the key participant in the middle. The key participant in the middle will and is quite equipped to, you would say, descend and ascend and going back and forth. And this is within the parameter that it is not that the toxins will adhere. It is within the parameter of continuing the resonance and the emanation of the container to continue to gather. There is some support outside the circle that is also participating. You would say there are some deliveries that are sprinkled upon, you would say, sprinkled upon. And these energetic deliveries are allowing the further gathering of what is contained in these bodies of water. For the approximation, each circle is at a different point of complete gathering, but the container itself will remain while we continue. But now we will, as the key participant in the center is now ascending, we will, as you would say, alleviate the circle and disjoin from the circle, but we would rise to meet that key participant as that key participant is ascending, rising up. So the circle will now continue out into more of the atmosphere, and this is presenting as a vapors, gathering any of those remnants of toxins from the water vapors in the atmosphere as well that is outside the container of the bodies of water, joining that participant in a closer circle, but the ring or the circle continues to fully receive and continues to impart the calling, the gathering of the toxin. You will stay at center point with the smaller circle with the key participant for a short while longer, and when instructed, as the key participant at the center will begin another descending, then you will return to the fire circle, I will say. It continues to gather. It continues to harvest the toxin. It continues to bring in. There is the descending now taking place, and as that occurs, go back to the larger circle of fire, I will refer to it. And this larger circle is now supported by our intentions and our embodiment. It is continuing to gather. The container will stay. There are two of the circles that will, you would say, somewhat seal, but the circles will move and you will go to another body of water. One will remain. It is larger and the toxins more plentiful. At that one, as the others are adjourning with the circle to the other containers, there will be the key participant of the one remaining, and they have the other bodies of water are now being tended to. And that key participant now ascending, the circle will again follow the ascension to the pinnacle. Yes, the others are beginning to increase the humming, increase the resonance. The other bodies of water are not yet prepared with containers. So that will be at another juncture. The circles, you would say, why not just have a separate circle? The circles were, I will say, infinitely supported with many processes to gather the contaminants, and thus the three circles were what were prepared. The circles themselves do not need to remain, as there is the container that will continue to gather from what was provided by our participation and by the circle itself. The ones that have ascended with the key participant and the others now are witnessing the descension of the key participant at the new containers at the new circle, continuing to support the process in full, knowing that the toxins and the different varieties of things gathered will prepare the waterways, the oceanic bodies, and the process of filtration to be in its purest form moving forward. As the one that did not remove the circle of fire, that key being is now descending, but only to the upper parameter. There will be a ceiling, so to speak. The fire will begin to not glow as brightly. And we will allow the others to complete the process, which is now ascending with the key participant in a tighter circle to the pinnacle at the top above in the atmosphere, where the vapors are also supported. That is in sync and in time with both remaining containers. The container that did not switch positions is completed. There will be one more descending and one more ascension of the key participant. And the descending begins now, and allow all participants at those circles to follow form and not follow the descender all the way down, but to widen the circle at the ring of fire. The continued gathering. As this process, it increases to a crescendo. You are waiting for one more ascension, which you will follow the key participant to the pinnacle. But both key participants are currently descending. There is a form, the container, that receives the toxins, but also there is an aspect of entry, of purification, of filtration, and of itself. There can be a returning to that which is properly filtered, and there is ascension now occurring, and not fully at the top yet, but wait for the key participant to reach the center of the fire circle and then ascend with the key participant. Reaching now, ascend one more time, tighten the circle around the key participant, supporting the vapors. The filtration process of what remains will be dealt with, I will say. All the two other circles are at the pinnacle now, surrounding the ascended key participant, and it is at the pinnacle. Well done. Supporting that, supporting the vapors, receiving as those vapors are also filtered. Just a short moment longer. And then the descension will occur only to the location of the ring of fire, which will also lower in its embers or its glow and seal. You are lowering now. And seal. Now, for the programming, the rings will all be gathered and they will intersect, interlock. You will follow them. So we will all be gathered, including the three key participants, intersect, interlocked, well done. We are above at the higher levels of the atmosphere. The programming within this, the programming for the intelligence of the water in a purified state to not only nourish, but to refresh, but to communicate with all like kind, I will say, all other bodies of water, including that within certain species that contain water. It is, of course, of love, but it is also of harmony and support, as I said, support. Allowing those intentions to fully be charged into the circles, charging the circles, programming the circles. Yes, programming them. Now, where will the circles be placed? Where will the circles go? How will the circles communicate this? That delivery will be of the 3 core participants. They will, interestingly, you would say, connect with, but also swirl through. Also, as you see the hoops and the water flowing through, it is programming and messages that are instantaneous. It does not take much time, but we would leave that to those 3 key participants. We are ensuring the programming is complete. It is being, as you would say, tested and read. And this can be seen through the light spectrum. A little bit more of support. And also allowing the programming to, you would say, rapid fire or ripple effect, if you wish, that communication will transfer, be shared common programming. Yes, support. I am told that is complete. We will leave the 3 participants for further delivery and return to the council. Well done. The containers will continue as there is many recesses of aspects to be drawn in, so I'll leave it at that. The remaining bodies of water will be addressed as the containers are ready and the ring of fire is free to also allow that to be provided. We chose the 5 bodies of water that were of the most numerous, necessitating the vacuuming, I will call it. And it is of no consequence that the others will be tardy in their receiving. Any observations or musing? There is much to celebrate and to witness and to understand that the providings of the water and what we have provided in the last implementation and this one will be well served. Until we meet again. Exiting the council chambers, floating back, cradling Gaia. We love you, Gaia. We love you. We love you. Cradling Gaia. We gently land. The golden sphere shrinks, 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 shrinks. Our energy centers come back, 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 back. and we receive a shower from Creator, refreshing us for the remainder of the day, retaining only our energy and sending back what does not belong to us. Thank you. Nicole. Stop recording. I can't stop. Thank you, Joe.
I tried to unmute myself quicker, but it didn't work. So I don't
Oh,
know if
shoot.
maybe this will help you because now you can actually see. But I kept seeing symbols, and I think